Shavua Tov, Good Tevach. I want to tell story number 78 of the Shivchei of Shem Tov from the book Shivchei of Shem Tov, the earliest compilation of Baal Shem Tov stories, although this itself is not exactly a Baal Shem Tov story. He will say why. The title of the story in Hebrew is Bikur Gehinnom B'Chalom, a visit of a place called Gehinnom, where the souls go after death, before they can go up, to be purified, to be cleansed from all the transgressions, and it's not quite a nice place. They go through quite a bit of suffering in this hellish place. So the author of the Shivchei of Shem Tov says, I heard from Rav Zelik from the holy community of Letichov, and even though the story he heard from him, and even though this is not a Baal Shem Tov story by per se, the story is not about the Baal Shem Tov. Anyway, I will include it here. I will write it down because it gives us the ability to understand Iras Shomayim, the fear of heaven. We will see, however, the story is related to somebody from Mezhibush, and it happened at the time of the Baal Shem Tov. The story is about a young man who was very close to the above-mentioned Rav Zelik of Letichov, and he once had a dream, and in his dream he saw that there were two Hasidim walking in the field, and one Hasid says to the other, he was with them, right, and one Hasid said to the other, let's go to Gehinnom, let's go to this place called Gehinnom, and let's see what's going on in there. They went, and they found the entrance to Gehinnom, and there was a gigantic gate, and they opened it, and they saw, when they are inside, this is not yet Gehinnom. So they realized one of them had disappeared. Remember, there were three, the man having the dream and two Hasidim. So one of the two Hasidim disappears, the other one is left alone with the man having the dream, and they see a second gate open, they go in, and again it's a prosdor, it's a vestibule, a place that you go in to hang your coat before you go into the main room. And the second man disappears. So the Hasid having the dream is left alone, and he weighs out, what do I do here? And he says, well, since I'm already here, I may as well go in. He opens the third gate, and indeed he is in Gehinnom. And then there is a man standing by the gate, wearing a talis and tefillin. He's next to the gate, right? And this man asks him, what are you doing here? Where are you from? And he was from Mezhibush, the Baal Shem Tov's town. But the people from Mezhibush used to say that they were from the Kehila Kedosha of Bar, the holy community of Bar, because it was not too far from Mezhibush. I guess it was a better known town at the time. So he said, I am from the community of Bar, and I came to see Gehinnom, sightseeing. It's a strange dream, in my opinion, right? If you go sightseeing, you go touring, maybe you want to go see the Eiffel Tower, or maybe you want to see the Great Wall of China, maybe you want to go to Eretz Israel, but to go and see Gehinnom, what a dream. Anyway, that's my personal take, not in the story. So he says, I came to see Gehinnom, and he sees they are bodies that are burned by the fire, like wood that has been burned in fire, uses a biblical expression to mention that. And he sees the bodies pile up, like when they harvest wheat and they roll it up and they pile it up. He sees these piles of rolled up bodies in the field. And the man who was by the gate tells him, since you are from the community of Bar, go behind this pile and you will see a young man who is also from the community of Bar. He is there. He goes and he sees that the man is lying there among the bodies, and he feels very ashamed, the man from Bar, because he was so respected in his community. He's now suffering. The man having the dream, goes back to the gate, and he sees that all the bodies are lying there, but they're silent. They're not being punished. There is no fire. There is no torture for them. So he asks the man at the gate, why are they not being judged? Why are they not being punished? The man in the gate tells him, from your answer, I know that last night you didn't say Ya'ale B'Yavo in the Amidah, the Shmona Esrei in Arvit, in Ma'ariv, the night prayer. You forgot that today is Rosh Chodesh. And indeed, that was the case. In real life, the night before this dream, he had forgot Ya'ale B'Yavo. He forgot that it was Rosh Chodesh. So he asked to be let out. And the man on the gate tells him, absolutely not. By no means can I let you out. Please let me out. I'm a respectable person. What's your decency? I know that you went out collecting funds and you had evil thoughts. And tells him the meaning of his thoughts. The man again says, I collected because I had to pay for my studies. The man from the gate says, okay, beautiful, very nice, but it's not possible to let you out. The man asked and begged to be let out. So the man by the gate said, I advise you to hide under my talus. Soon the Sar Shel Gehinnom, the great minister of Gehinnom, will come in the midst of a great storm. And the gate will be open and you can squeeze in and get out. And then indeed they start hearing at a distance the big storm, the Kol Rash Gadol, a huge noise that this storm was making. And indeed Sar Shel Gehinnom was coming. The bodies piled up, start trembling with a great tremor. And the young Hasidic man hid under the talus of the man by the gate. When the Sar Shel Gehinnom came, the gate was open. He squeezed through the gate and got out. But a bit of the storm got into him and he began coughing so much that he woke up coughing in his dream. The cough called hushed, whatever the illness is called, it's called hushed. From that day on, after waking up, he was weak and began coughing more and more, until a year later, he passed away. He died from the illness. But that man that he saw in Gehinnom, in the dream, he lived for years and years. He lived for many years after this happened. And so is the story from the Shivchei of Shem Tov. There is some Hasidic sources about it that point that it did happen indeed in the time of the Baal Shem Tov. Next story will go with another story from the same Rav Zelik, but this story will be related to the Baal Shem Tov directly. Shavua Tov, a good Tevach.